In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 quotes that, if you understand, will allow you to completely change your life. I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's get started. Here's the first quote. The first quote comes from the book, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership, and it says this: "Commitment is a statement of what is. From our perspective, you can know your commitments by your results, not by what you say your commitments are. We are all committed. Conscious leaders own their commitments by owning their results." The reason this is so powerful is because if you want to know what you're committed to, just look at your life right now. Whatever you weigh, however much money you make, however happy you are, whatever your friends are, everything that's in your current life is what you're committed to. This is what you've created, whether consciously or not. And so commitment is not what you say you want, it's what you actually have. Whatever results you're currently getting, that's what you're committed to. And if you want different results, then you're going to have to commit to something different, which takes me to quote number 2. So this next quote is a doozy, so please stick with me and I'll break it down as I go. This is from William Hutchinson Murray. He said, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would neverwise otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidences and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamt would have come his way." So this quote means that until you become committed, there's always hesitancy, the chance to draw back. You can't actually make any power happen in your life until you become 100% committed. Once you become 100% committed, then, as William Hutchinson Murray said, then providence moves to. All sorts of events issue from the decision. Everything comes from the decision, like material assistance, support, mentors. There's another quote, this isn't one of the 4, but when the teacher is ready, the student appears. That's because when you're ready, that means you're 100% committed. Once you get 100% committed, that actually takes me to quote number 3. Quote number 3 comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, "Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." So this connects with the last quote on commitment, that once you get committed, once you make the decision, then all sorts of unforeseen events issue from the decision. Once you get committed to making $1 million, for example, or once you get committed to whatever it is you're trying to do, once you get committed to getting married, once you get committed to getting in shape, commitment is a statement of what is. Commitment is a statement of the results you're going to get. And so until you're committed, you're always hesitating. But once you get committed, all sorts of things issue from that decision. All of a sudden, your whole orientation towards life changes. You go into what psychologists call a approach orientation. So all behavior is one of 2 ways from a psychology perspective. Either you're approaching something or you're avoiding something. Most people, they're avoiding taking action. They're avoiding making a decision because they're too scared of what the consequences may be. There's another quote that basically says that everything you want is on the opposite side of fear. So once you shift your orientation, once you commit to a specific outcome, yes, a specific outcome, commit to something specific, make it public, and then figure out how to get it. And ultimately remove anything from your life that's stopping you from having it. Once you get committed 100%, then you can start having power in your life. Then you can start taking action. Then you can start moving forward. As Tom Bilyeu said, it's better to move 1,000 miles per hour in the wrong direction than not moving at all, because if you're moving in the wrong direction, at least you can get feedback. Being proactive, being on offense is really how you get feedback. It's how you learn, it's how you adjust, it's how you become flexible. So that takes me to quote number 4, and this is from Robert Brault. He said, "We are kept from our goal, not by obstacles, but by a clear path to a lesser goal." So this proves that until you become committed, you're always going to be hesitant, because you're not kept from your goal by obstacles. It's not the obstacles that are stopping you, it's that you have clear paths to lesser goals. You still haven't decided, and so you still have a lot of various options that you're considering. The true definition of decision is to cut off alternative options. You can know you're committed to what you really want by removing various options, by removing lesser goals. When you make a decision, you've got to cut off alternative options. And you right now are probably weighing too many options. You've got too many plans, B's, C's, and D's, or you've just got too many competing goals. That's one of the major problems that most people have, is that they have too many goals that they're competing all at once, and as a result, they're not committing to the one that they really want. What's the one thing that if you committed to, you would be able to accomplish everything else you want? That's what you've got to do. And you can increase your commitment by removing lesser goals, by having awkward conversations, by telling people you can no longer be committed to what they want you to be committed to. You got to remove yourself from things that you're currently doing. You got to stop saying yes to the things that are burning out your time and your willpower and your energy, and you've got to only say yes to those things that you really want. Now this takes me to the 5th and bonus quote, and this comes from the Harvard business professor who recently died named Clayton Christensen, and he said that 100% is easier than 98%. And what he means by that is if you're only 98% committed to something, then you're still hesitating. You still haven't fully made the decision. And if you're 98% committed, let's just say to a diet, for example, then in every future situation you're in, you have to make a new decision. For example, let's just say you are only 98% committed to a diet. Then in every future situation, you've got to ask yourself, is this one of those 2% times when I'm going to eat the wedding cake, for example, or eat that thing? And obviously the research is clear on this. Willpower loses to situations unless you're fully decided on what you want. So if you're fully decided, if you made a 100% decision, it's a lot easier because then you know in every future situation what you're going to do. And that's powerful for confidence. You want to know what the outcome's going to be before you get into the situation. If you go into a situation not knowing what the outcome's going to be, then you've put yourself in a situation where you're going to have to rely on willpower. And you're going to have to rely on willpower in a tough situation. That's why 98% commitment is tough. This actually brings up another bonus quote. It's from Michael Jordan. He said, "Once I made a decision, I never thought about it again." Because once you make a decision, then you cut off alternative options. You say no to everything outside of that decision. And that's, again, when you get to that level of commitment. Commitment is a statement of what is. Commitment is when you start seeing the results you want. And as Hutchinson Murray said, once you get committed, then providence moves too. All sorts of events start issuing from the decision. You just move forward. You take action. You move forward with proactive decision. You cut off alternative options. You say, this is what I'm doing. I'm moving forward. And then you fix it as you go. Massive action, constant correction. So those are the quotes. I hope you use them. The only question you need to ask yourself is, what's the thing you're going to commit to? Who is your future self? What's the future that you value more than anything else? Most people are looking for that future. They're looking for their goal. They're looking for their passion. That's not how you do it. You have to have a value system to determine what you should choose. You choose what you value, and then you develop the skills and abilities and the network to do it. It's not that you're going to find your future. You choose your future based on what you value, and as you learn, as you grow, as you develop, you're going to be able to make better and better decisions and choose bigger and better futures. I'll end with this last thought, and it's from Dan Sullivan. He said, the only way to make your present better is by making your future bigger. But it's not just a random future. It's a future that you chose, that you committed to, and that you're taking action on, and that the results speak for themselves. Get the results you want by committing to it, by making a decision, and by removing the alternatives. I'm Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Please subscribe to this channel. Down below, you can get access to my free 30-day Future Self program. Have an amazing day.